on the distributive property. What we have in front of us is 3 times 2 plus 8 within parentheses. How do we solve this problem? Seriously, take a second and think about it. Well, if we think about this, we can remember a past video where we learned about a little something called the commutative property. Commutative property. Do you remember that? The commutative property states that multiplication and addition can be in any order. Any order. Okay? So I hope when you thought about this, you realize that since multiplication and addition can be in any order, you could do what we call the distributive property. This is how the distributive property works. What we're going to multiply is 3 times 2 to get 6. And then we're going to follow that up by multiplying 3 times 8 to get 24. And what we did was multiply the 2 terms within the parentheses. But you must realize, due to the commutative property, that we could do 2 plus 8 first and get 3 times 10, which is equivalent. Okay, so now that you've seen that and you've understood that, let's show you the general form. The general form is A times B plus C equals AB plus AC. This is just stating that we can distribute A to B and C. Okay, let's do a few examples of this property in action. Let's take 5 multiplied by x plus 4 in parentheses. Okay, well remember, we're going to distribute the 5 onto, and that'll give us 5 x's. We're going to distribute the 5 onto 4, and we'll get 20. So that distributes and simplifies to 5x plus 20. Now, let's talk about when we are multiplying a negative symbol or subtraction. How does that work? We'll distribute the 5 to the x and get 5x again, just like last time. We'll distribute the 5 to 2 or negative 2, and we'll get negative 10. The negative sign carries down. You keep the negative sign. Okay? If you multiply, much like the rules you've learned of multiplying negatives by positives, if you multiply a negative by a positive, you get a negative. So you keep the negative sign. All right, and sometimes we will have a situation like this. 2 times x plus 3 plus 4x. How do you think we approach this problem? Well, we're going to begin by distributing the 2 onto the x to get 2x, the 2 on the 3 to get 6 plus 4x, and then like the previous videos, we're going to combine like terms to get 6x plus 6. Okay, before we move on to some practice problems, I want to talk about the most common mistake. One that I even occasionally make myself today. and made many times when I was learning this. Common mistake. A student will see 3 times x plus 4, and they'll distribute to the x to get 3x, and then they'll forget all about the 4. So what they've done is they forgot all about multiplying 3 times positive 4. And they end up with this expression. That is wrong. You must remember to distribute to both terms. The correct answer would be 3x plus 12. Let's move on to some practice problems. Okay, this is a set of practice problems for you to do on your own. Take your time with them, work through them, and after you do that, I'll work through them myself. All right, let's start with the first one. We're going to go ahead and distribute the 4 to the x to get 4x. We're going to distribute the 4 to the 5 to get 20. That is our final answer, 4x plus 20. Moving on to the second problem, we're going to multiply 6 times y to get 6y. And we're going to multiply 6 by negative 3 to get negative 18. That is our final answer. Now, moving to the top here, we're going to multiply 2 by a, and we're going to multiply 2 by 7, okay, to get 2a plus 14 plus 3a. We're going to combine like terms, both of the terms with the variable a in it, to get 5a plus 14, which is our final answer. And finally, we're going to do 5 times 2x and 5 times 1. Remembering to get both terms, we're going to get 10x plus 5, which is our final answer. Thank you for joining the video on the distributive property. You should be familiar with it now. And just remember to always make sure you multiply every term in the parentheses. See you in the next video.